After staying in over 15 of the best destinations in Southeast Asia, I still think Canggu, Bali is easily the best place to live as a digital nomad or expat. But why is that? Because many people online complain how terrible the traffic is here, and it's dirty, there's trash everywhere, it's so touristic and so expensive. There's definitely some truth to that, but let me explain in this video why I think Canggu is still the best place to live for most people.
I've chosen Canggu to be my base because it has the right balance for me, which is
So yeah, one thing about Canggu is that even if we are on an island and it definitely has the island vibes, it still feels like a city in a way that there's just so many restaurant activities, gyms, like there's so much here, like in a small area, which is really amazing. It also doesn't have many of the small island problems that these other places that are more beautiful, like Kopangan, Siargao, that I have spent also a lot of time. It has lots of accommodation options that are super comfortable. There's no problems with the electricity, there's no problems with the water. For example, even in Bali, if you go down to Uluwatu, which is way more beautiful area, of course, but it lacks in many ways compared to Canggu, but also with these little problems. There has been some problems with electricity, with water, and like it just doesn't work so well as here. And for example, here there's like 5 or even more amazing gyms. In like every area has one amazing gym with ice bath and sauna and pool and everything. So it's amazing to have that kind of like really amazing experience gyms everywhere in Canggu. And activities like paddle is just the best to do in Canggu, because comparing to Uluwatu or Kopangan or these other places, there's just so many more people here. Even, like there's also so many more paddle clubs these days. There's so many, but also there's so many people that you can any day find a game to go play, like an open match. So it's definitely the easiest place to go play paddle, like on your own schedule anytime. I haven't seen that anywhere else. And Wi-Fi also works perfectly in Canggu. There's never really a problem with that. So I would say all this is the biggest thing for me comparing to the more like smaller places that are more chill and more beautiful. But also I would say cost of living is a little bit cheaper in Canggu than any of these smaller places. Generally everything just costs a little bit less, and accommodation options are definitely, there's so many more options that you can find those like good deals. And yeah, traffic is a little bit a problem, but if you stay in a nice area like I stay here in Perarnan, I rarely struggle with traffic at all. Like it's just sometimes it gets a little bit stuck for like 5 seconds, but most of the time like no problem at all. Of course, it's not as nice as in Kopangan, for example, like cruising in nature with amazing views, and like it's not like that. Of course, it's like a city in this way, but not as bad as like actual city, of course, but you need to endure a little bit more busy roads. And guys, please like the video if you're liking it so far, and subscribe to not miss the next videos from Bali and about digital nomad topics. The second thing is food options. I definitely like all the smaller places or anywhere else than in Bali. I find that after a while I get a little bit bored with the food options. Like there's just not unlimited options for like good food. I'm a little bit of a foodie, so for me it really matters to eat good tasty food and also have healthy food options. And here it's just perfect. Anytime I can just go eat or order. Ordering is also the best in Canggu. It's just so quick, so easy, so reliable. There's a million places to order or go eat. You can get anything like protein smoothies, they're best ever, healthy food that is really tasty also, and you can order or go eat out. There's just so much good food, like any cuisine, any type of food, any type of restaurant, there definitely are some in Canggu. So it is a little bit of like a food heaven. Compared to other places, it's like 10 times better, 100 times better. And the third thing is that even if it's like a city in all these ways, it's still island vibes, tropical beach, you can even go surfing. There's also a lot of rice fields around. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. You can also like, what I love about living in this kind of place where you can easily drive anywhere with scooter, it just feels like a freedom that I can always just take my scooter, drive quickly to the rice fields or cafes or beach bar or activities like paddle, gym, like everything is kind of close by with scooter, just like few minutes drive, max like 10 minutes maybe sometimes. I don't really go so far. I think many people who complain about the traffic, they stay in an area that they need to always drive super far to go to places. So in that case, yeah, it can suck, but if you stay in a nice area, you don't really need to go so far so often. And quick mention about healthcare, if you're worried about the hospitals and stuff like that, they're really good options for more westernized hospitals. They can be quite expensive though, and that's why I partner up with SafetyWing for this video. Travel medical insurance is definitely a must-have, and I have been using SafetyWing for years already. They really made sure to give the best possible experience for nomads like us. You can purchase this when already traveling. It works like a subscription, so it's extremely flexible, and there's no cap on the duration of the travel. The coverage also includes personal liability, travel delays, lost luggage, evacuation, trip interruption, and more. And they also have add-ons like electronic theft and action sports. So click the first link in the description to check it out and join SafetyWing today to enjoy peace of mind during your travels around the world. And the next thing is the people here. I've never been in a place that has so many like-minded people in so many different areas of life. For example, there's so many people who are really into spirituality and self-help kind of topics that I end up making friends always with people who I can learn so much about myself and life and just grow as a person and spirituality. I've been having so many deep conversations during these years living in Bali with so many different people, and it's definitely a place where you can grow a lot as a person, even here in Canggu, even if people think that it's more for business people. But that's the thing. You also meet a lot of business people, entrepreneurs in different topics like property owners, and you learn about so many different business things also here, which is really amazing, of course, if you want to build your business. There has been so many people I met when I'm just sitting in a cafe working and someone next to me working and asking what are you working for? And then you just end up talking about business and kept coming up with new ideas for each other, and it just happens a lot here. And also for all the activities and fitness, there's so many people. It's really a big thing here to go to the gym and be health conscious, and in the sauna I always end up talking with people about some health topics. And also as I said, paddle is the easiest here. You end up meeting a lot of people who play paddle or surf or do all these activities, so it's really an amazing place where you can make connections with all these things. And also the locals, which is the next thing. There's still so many locals living, Balinese people and Indonesian people living in Canggu. Even if people think that it's so touristic place, there's so many locals you can meet, and most of them speak good English, which is amazing here. You can I end up making so many local friends and people I meet along the way, and they're always super friendly, and it's easy to speak with them, and everything is good here when it comes to that. I would say that compared to Thailand, for example, it's also really nice that the alphabet is the same here. The language is really easy to understand, easy to read, easy to write, and easy to learn. And also in Canggu, I would say that the most amount of people actually stay here long term, have dock here, have villa here. In other places I haven't seen so many people actually living there or staying super long term or always coming back. So also it just feels like a long-term place. You can build community around you, and also people you can work with or go to the gym with. It's the best in that way. And the next thing is that it's just, for me, it has been the best place to focus on health and also business. Comparing to all the other places, it just has the best culture when it comes to business and fitness. All the amenities are the best here. There's so many co-working spaces, so many nice gyms, as I talked before. And just the vibe here is more of okay, let's get things done, let's build businesses, let's grow. And of course, when it comes to building business, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, and it's really nice here that you can live very efficiently. You can order food always, cleaning is done for you, everything is done for you, so you can focus on the things that are important. I really value that. And yeah, the Wi-Fi works, everything works, so there's not many distractions.
I've chosen Canggu to be my base because it has the right balance for me, which is a place that's productive, so you can go to an amazing co-working space or come to a place like here, Zin, and other nice cafes. Every cafe you go to is pretty much Wi-Fi enabled, and you can sit there all day doing your work if that's what you prefer, or have more of a corporate environment. And then you're just surrounded by this expat community that are pretty driven, and so it keeps you motivated to work on your goals as well. That's, for me, what's really important about Canggu. But obviously you've got all the other things about Bali that make it amazing, like the lower cost of living, 6 or 7 different paddle clubs that you go to or whatever, amazing gyms, variety of food, all of that stuff.
And the seventh thing is nature and the weather. And actually, I just realized there's one bonus thing after this. But yeah, I would say that it's the best place in Southeast Asia when it comes to like year-around weather. I was staying here for like 1.5 years first when I moved here, like non-stop. So I saw all the weather, and I've been here many times during the rainy season after that also. And it's not that bad. Like there's no typhoons like in the Philippines. The rain is not too bad most of the time. Sometimes there's a week that is a little bit bad, but it's generally quite nice even during the rainy season. It's never like extremely crazy hot here. Sometimes during the rainy season it is quite like it feels quite hot because it's humid and when the sun is shining, but it's still like manageable. Way better than in Vietnam and Thailand and Philippines. When it gets bad, it gets really bad there, and here it feels still fine. So I would say it's a good place like long term if you want to stay in one place year around. I like to still travel during the rainy season, but yeah. What's nice here also is that there's not any dangerous animals so much like in Thailand, for example, box jellyfish on the beaches. And yeah, the bonus thing that I just realized it, of course, for long stay place, like having a base long term somewhere, it's really nice here that you can easily buy anything. Like there's shops for everything, there's big malls, there's big supermarkets, there's like some specific shops for protein or supplements or like anything you want you can find here. And also Tokopedia and all those like online marketplaces work really well here. And also Canggu has some good international schools, so thinking really long term, I think this is the best place to actually build a family and life around in Southeast Asia. I would definitely choose Bali. So yeah, Canggu definitely has its own issues and no place is perfect, but for me and many others, what we think still is that Canggu is the only place where we can feel like we could actually stay and live long term. And this can of course change with time, but at least right now still I see that I think it's gonna be a really good place to stay for most people when you're thinking of long term place. But of course there's some people who value more like being in nature and chill place and doesn't really care about the gyms and activities and nice cafes so much. So in that case you can see my other videos here about like the best destinations for digital nomads. There's definitely good options for everybody in Southeast Asia. But anyway, like and subscribe. See you next week.